introduction, heart disease with the another name is heart and vascular disease. Heart disease is any illness that affects the structure or function of the heart. Heart disease also is a set of disorder with a variety of causes. In the end of the study, we hope that we can conclude on which category for age and gender are the easily ones to get the heart disease.
The objective of the study is first to learn more about the type of transplant. Second, to explain how all people are easy to get high risk of heart disease. Third is to calculate all the elements given in the heart disease data. Fourth is to investigate the patient with heart disease for doing exercise.
The study is in the form of descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis is a type of study that focuses on describing the characteristics of the populations or phenomena under investigations. Descriptive research is usually concerned with research questions, research design, and data analysis in relation to the subject of interest. In this study, it refers to the patients with heart disease. Moreover, this data is secondary data about patients with heart disease and provided by lecturers. In the data set, there are 115 heart disease respondents. From this data set, we can know that the respondent need to answer 14 questions. In this dataset, the respondent will ask to fill in their age, gender, and type of chest pains. The demographic information will be used to understand which genders is a high-risk population with heart disease and the most common type of chest pains based on the 115 respondents. The measurable scale included in this study are nominal of qualitative data and ratio of quantitative data. Example, the variable of age and exercise induced angina is a type of qualitative and nominal, while the measurable scale of resting blood pressure is ratio and the type of variable is quantitative. Microsoft Excel was the software we use to analyze the secondary data that we obtained. We can create graphs and charts with this program by using the formulas and functions that are available in Microsoft Excel. For our study, it is the best software for correcting, measuring, analysis, and making decisions. This will make us easy to complete the information correct.
On the bar chart, it shows that the numbers of patients with the heart disease from 55 to 50 years old is 38 people, 25.33%, which the highest percentage among each other. Whilst the age of the patient with the heart disease from 29 to 34 years old and from 71 to 76 years old show that the lowest percentage among the age category reached the 1.20% and with the two people.
Based on the pie chart, show the gender of heart disease patients. From the pie chart, we can see the male patients have the largest frequency with 108 people, while there are only 42 female patients in the total of 115 respondents. Therefore, the majority of heart disease patients are men, accounting for 72%, while female heart disease patients account for only 28%.
The bar chart above illustration the type of chest pain can be seen that the most common type of chest pain is asymptomatic because 66 people are suffer from this type of chest pain, which is 44%. After that, followed by 50 people are in non-angina pain. The bar chart also can observe that in the total 150 people, they have 23 people are suffered by typical angina and 11 people are suffering from typical angina. Between the number of people with this atypical angina pectoris and the number of people with typical angina pectoris, the number of people with atypical angina pectoris is about 12 higher than that with typical angina pectoris.
On the line graph, we can see that the highest number of heart disease patients for their listing per patient is 50 people between 122 to 135 mmHg, while the lowest number of people for their listing per patient is 1 people between 178 to 191 mmHg and between 198 to 210 mmHg.
From the polygon, we can know that the number of patients is higher at the mean point of 228 mg serum cholesterol. That is, there are 46 out of 150 patients. Therefore, based on the table, we can say that the serum cholesterol of most heart disease patients is between 211 mg to 245 mg. In addition, the serum cholesterol between 386 mg and 420 mg, or at the mean point of 403 mg, was the lowest among heart disease patients, which is only 2 patients.
The pie chart in figure 3.2.4 shows the percentage of the patient with the fasting blood sugar is more than 120 mg. From the pie chart, we can see that the patient who say false understand meaning for their fasting blood sugar is not more than 120 or 126. Responder equate to 84% more than patient who say true, which is 24. Responder equate to 60%. Thus, we can see that the majority of heart disease patients who say false are more numerous than those who say.
From the pie chart, we can see that the highest number of reading electrocardiographic result is value 2 with 84 people forming 56%, while the lower numbers of patients listing electrocardiographic result is value 1 with 66 people and 44%.
From the table above shows that the highest patient frequency of maximum heart rate is 43 patients that were included. The class boundary for the heart rate is between 155 to 166. After that, we can know that the total number of patients with maximum heart rate less than 166.5 in ORGIV is 150. From the information given in the pie chart, 68 of patients crash angina due to exercise. These are 102 patients, which is 68%, almost 150 respondents crash angina due to exercise. However, there are 33% of patients, which is 48 people, did not have angina crash by exercise.
Based on the board plots in figure 3.2.8, we can see that the minimum value of exercise-induced ST depression is patient with her disease is 0 nm relative to rest. The 50% of patients for ST depression induced by exercise relative to rest is 1 nm. Moreover, the maximum for ST depression induced by exercise relative to rest was 6.2 nm.
From the bar chart, we can see that the highest number of slow spec exercise ST segment is value 1, which the upsloping with the 71 people, while the lower number is value 3, with downsloping with 40 people or 9.33%.
The pie chart in figure 3.2.10 shows the percentage of patients who have numbers 0, 1, 2, and 3 regarding the number of major vessels followed by fluorescence. From the pie chart, we can see that 94 out of 150 patients, 63% have 0 major blood vessels stand by fluorescence. Next, the number of patients who has 1 major vessel was 33%, which is 22%. Furthermore, the major vessel number of 3 have the lower number of patients, which is 9 patients, 6%.
Both bar charts show the average of thalassemia for patients with heart disease. Looking at the graph in more details, it can be observed that the majority pattern of thalassemia is normal. This is because out of a total 150 patients, 80 were in the normal category. However, 63 patients, which is 42%, are shown in reversible defect category, which only 7 patients out of 150 patients in fixed defect category.
Based on the bar chart, we can clearly see that 83 patients have angiographic disease and less than 50% diameter vicious narrowings. Therefore, the angiographic heart disease for Warrior 4, which is more than 50% of the diameter narrowing, is the lowest, only 7 out of 150 patients. Moreover, we can say that the total of patients with heart disease of the angiographic disease, more than 15% of the diameter narrowing is 67 out of 150 patients, or 44.67%.
From the analysis based on the responder profile analysis, we can see that the age between 53 and 58 has the higher risk of suffering from heart disease. As you get older, your risk of arterial damage, narrowing, weakness, and thickness of your heart muscle will increase. Moreover, we can see that More than half of the patients with heart disease are men. Generally speaking, men may have lower physically, behavioral and emotional adaptability to stress events, which lead to their increased risk for heart disease.